Okay, I want to get an NBA topic out there. I've trashed teams such as the Lakers or the Bulls in terms of roster moves, what they've done over the all season, what they've done over prior off seasons. Um, but a team that really no one's been talking about who has done nothing in free agency is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm just questioning: are you really committed to trying to get a championship? Are you trying, do you want to keep Kevin Durant? Do you want to keep Russell Westbrook around? You have to get some more pieces. I mean, you lose Kevin Martin. I mean, Kevin Martin was by no means a superstar player. I mean, he was a pretty good scorer. That's really about it. He could create his own shot, and he was a pretty good spot up shooter. Um, they lose him in free agency. No replacement. I'm assuming they're gonna use Reggie Jackson, break him off the bench as a six man. But the guy's game's still raw. He's improving. We saw the improvement with him at the end of the season, around the time, and also around the time Westbrook got hurt. We saw the improvement, how well he played in the Houston series. Didn't play too well against Memphis, but I expect to see good things out of the kid. Really, the guard position wasn't a huge problem. Well, having Derek Fisher, um, the, the ancient one on your team, yeah, he has to go. You have to get some kind of backup, and there was guys out there. I don't understand. The guard, like I said, the guard position is not the main problem. It's mainly the center position. I think the power forward position is pretty good. With you have Collison, you have Ibaka. I think that's pretty solid. Um, the center position is terrible. You have Kendrick Perkins, who is horrible. He doesn't do the things that they pay him money to do. I mean, he signed a contract a couple years ago, and he hasn't done anything. I mean, aside from the way he looked with the Celtics, and honestly, I think that was system. I think it was guys like Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett really motivating him and making him look good, really, because all he had to do was contest shots and be solid defensively in the post, grab rebounds. He can't even do that anymore because there's a little bit more pressure on him defensively to protect the rim. And he has not done that well at all. You saw how bad he looked against Memphis. He's looked bad all season. He commits a lot of stupid fouls. He's not rebounding well. He's not defending the post well. I don't understand what is he out there for? Why is he getting paid? Why hasn't this guy? I'm not sure if they already used their amnesty. I don't think they have. I don't think they have used the amnesty. That's the perfect guy to amnesty right there. It's kind of a similar situation with the Bulls and Boozer, and you're just thinking in your mind, why isn't this guy gone? Get rid of him. You had big men around him. You had if they mainly look for, you got a guy like Bynum. The Cavs are offering him a 2 year contract that he might accept. We're not sure if he hasn't accepted it yet, but they offered him a contract. The Thunder haven't even tried. They they wouldn't have the money to sign somebody, get somebody like a Dwight, so we knew that wasn't gonna happen. But a guy like Bynum, um, fuck, even Chris Kaman. Chris Kaman is oft an injured guy. That's his main knock. But if he's healthy, he could be solid. He could be solid. Pretty good shoot. He's pretty good mid range shooter. Pretty good in the post. Okay defensively. He does more than what Perkins does. What Perkins does hardly anything at this point in his career. So I don't understand why they don't pick up some guys. Like I said, they need a backup two guard. You had guys like OJ Mayo out there. You had guys like JJ Redick. Um, you had or a backup point guard. You had, even though I think they're going to use Reggie Jackson like sort of like a combo guard, you got to put him at the 1 or the 2. But still, he's still at the 2. He still will be undersized. So you want to get a legit 2 guard. So you had a guy like OJ Mayo out there. Like I said, and you had a other plethora of guys. You had Iguodala, but Iguodala I think was set with going to Golden State. I don't think the Thunder could afford that type of contract. Um, who else? Like I said, Redick. Um, I'm not sure if they want to go for somebody like Monte Ellis. Doesn't do much for you, but shoot a bunch of shots. I mean, he's streaky. He can get hot, but I wouldn't go after him. There were other guys out there, but they didn't even try. I mean, I didn't hear anything about them going for any of those guys. But my main concern is the center position. That is their biggest weakness with Perkins and the things he doesn't do, which he doesn't do anything, honestly. He's just a man to fill the roster, a fifth man on the floor. Um, Hasheem Thabeet, I think, could be a reasonable backup, but he is by no means a starter. Um, he makes too many mistakes. It's easy to get him off his feet. But with his size at 7'3", you know, he is a pretty decent shot blocker, but doesn't do much else. He's a guy you can bring off the bench for 10 to 12 minutes. You know, you can play him against other big men such as Mark Gasol, Paul Gasol, Dwight Howard, because of his length at 7'3". You know, he can really get him trouble. Other than that, a guy like Perkins not doing what he's known for. And from what I've seen from the Thunder, I mean, they rely on a guy such as Reggie Jackson to come off the bench to fill the role with Kevin Martin did. And it's quite possible he could. Also, a guy like Jeremy Lamb, Hasheem Thabeet, and Nick Collison's he's been pretty good for them. Derek Fisher, who they have a little bit too much, to say, well, not to say they shouldn't respect him, but they trust him a little bit too much at his age when he's not that good. I mean, maybe years ago he could possibly do some of the things they're asking him to do, but his reputation has gotten him a lot of minutes, especially in the playoffs. He's gotten more minutes than guys like Kevin Martin, especially in the Memphis series. He got too many minutes, and a lot of it I think is his reputation, and also the coaching staff, mainly Scott Brooks, who I want to get on him. I think he's a terrible coach. He got exposed. He got exposed against Houston. Luckily for him, guys like Durant, guys like Kevin Martin, guys like Reggie Jackson really stepped up for them in that series. Because after we saw Westbrook go down, we really saw that how Scott Brooks is not great with X's and O's. And the Memphis series with a team that had enough talent and a good enough coaching staff to pretty much beat the Thunder with no Westbrook. We saw Scott Brooks get exposed, and the fact that he still has a job is mind-boggling. And I understand why he will keep his job after the finals, which he did. The coaching was bad in the finals as well. Because the reason he kept his job, because he made it to the finals. He took a relatively young team to the finals, and although they lost in 5 games, he got them to the finals, so that's enough to keep his job. But from what I saw last year, he should have got fired. Now I believe they're giving him the benefit of the doubt because it wasn't Westbrook wasn't there. But you can see what I saw defensively. Too much reliance on one guy. Archangel offense. Just give the ball to Durant, let him create. That type of basketball won't work in a playoff environment where coaching is probably the most important thing, especially when talent, the competition is so close. And we saw him get exposed. So I think this year is a make and break type season for him. If he doesn't get it done, if it's the second round out or second to first round out, maybe he can make it to the conference finals or finals. He may keep his job. But as a team currently constituted, it's hard to say because they didn't make any huge roster changes, especially with teams such as Houston getting better, Golden State's getting better, the Clippers have gotten better. Those are three teams that's really gonna give them trouble. Teams that have improved, while the Thunder have really stayed pat. I don't know what they're doing. Are they waiting for this offseason to try to get a guy like Zebo or something like that? Or a guy like Gasol. I know Paul Gasol is going to be a free agent. But other than that, I don't understand it. There were guys out there they could have got, even if they were signed with a 1 to 2 year, a 1 year deal. That way you can be ready for next coming off season and pick up one of those big free agents. But let me know what you think. How will the Thunder fare next season? Will they do better? Will they do worse? And should Scott Brooks be fired? He should have already been fired. But let me know what you think about the Thunder. Like, subscribe, and comment.